This is Gemini Control, 13 hours, 29 minutes, and 37 seconds after liftoff. Gemini 10, docked with the Agena, is now crossing the African coast and is in the acquisition of the Canary Islands tracking station. The spacecraft communicator at Canary Islands reported both spacecraft are in a go condition, and earlier in this revolution, the spacecraft communicator aboard the Rose Knot tracking ship also reported both vehicles were go. At that time, they commanded a tape dump of telemetry data from the spacecraft. At the beginning of the 9th revolution, and at 13 hours, 30 minutes, and 18 seconds after liftoff, this is Gemini Control. This is Gemini Control at 19 hours, 29 minutes, and 38 seconds after liftoff. Gemini 10 at the present time is over the South Central Pacific, nearing the end of the 9th revolution. The recent pass over the tracking ship Coastal Sentry was the last pass of the day until the revolution shift over the ship again later on today. At 14 hours, 30 minutes, and 4 seconds after liftoff, this is Gemini Control. This is Gemini Control at 15 hours, 29 minutes, and 37 seconds after liftoff. Gemini 10, midway through its 10th revolution, now is over the Arabian Peninsula. At the beginning of this pass over the stations of the Eastern Test Range, the telemetry was rather ragged. However, it looked good, according to the people here in Mission Control. During the pass over the Canary Island station, both vehicles were go on the ground. The crew of Gemini 10 is still in its sleep period, but they are due to wake up in approximately an hour and 15 minutes. The Spaceflight Meteorology Group of the U.S. Weather Bureau said this morning that weather conditions continue satisfactory in the zones of prime concern to the flight of Gemini 10. In the eastern Atlantic landing zone, centered about 400 miles west of the Cape Verde Islands, skies this morning will be partly cloudy with winds from the northeast at 18 knots and wave heights of 5 feet. In the primary landing zone in the western Atlantic, centered about 800 miles east of Miami, partly cloudy skies will prevail this afternoon with a few widely scattered showers. Southeast winds from 12 to 15 knots will generate 3 to 4 foot waves. In the mid-Pacific landing zone, centered about 300 miles northeast of Honolulu, partly cloudy skies with east winds near 15 knots and waves 3 to 4 feet are forecast. In the western Pacific landing zone, centered about 600 miles southwest of Tokyo, partly cloudy skies with a few showers will be the rule. Wind south at 10 knots and seas 4 feet. Interesting meteorological features which will be overflown during the day include the remains of Tropical Storm Nina near Formosa and frontal systems in the southern hemisphere where winter is in full swing. At 15 hours, 31 minutes, and 46 seconds after liftoff, this is Gemini Control. This is Gemini Control at 16 hours, 29 minutes, and 37 seconds after liftoff. The crew of Gemini 10 has a full day's work cut out for them. Here in Mission Control, the flight planners have come up with today's flight plan activities. They're scheduled to wake up in approximately 10 minutes. As a matter of fact, they'll be crossing the stations of the Eastern Test Range within about 4 minutes. At the time they wake up, there's a scheduled eat period for about an hour, and then over the Carnarvon Pass at these times are all in ground elapsed time after liftoff. At 17 hours and 25 minutes, there's a flight plan update, essentially the information I'll be reading now, from the Carnarvon, Australia tracking station. Then at 18 hours and 15 minutes, there's the next United States side pass, where the crew will report their own status and purge the fuel cells. At 19 hours and 5 minutes, the Carnarvon will give them a go, no-go for landing area 29-1. At 20 hours, 21 minutes, and 22 seconds, the Agena primary propulsion system will be used for a 340 foot per second retrograde height adjust maneuver. And immediately thereafter, they will begin the preliminary stand-up extravehicular activity preparation. And at 21 hours, 20 minutes through 22 hours and 20 minutes, there's an hour of eat period scheduled for the crew. At 22 hours, 38 minutes, 25 seconds, there will be a posigrade circularization maneuver of approximately 83 feet per second. The final stand-up EVA preparation will begin at 22 hours and 40 minutes and run approximately an hour to 23 hours and 40 minutes after liftoff. At 23 hours and 52 minutes, 10 minutes before sunrise, they will open the spacecraft hatch. The stand-up EVA procedure will be essentially the same as the flight plan originally, except the experiment S-13, the ultraviolet astronomical camera experiment, will be deleted. The MSC-8 color patch experiment will be conducted as scheduled. The synoptic terrain photography S5 will be done while the hatch is open by astronaut Collins. At 24 hours and 58 minutes, approximately sunset, spacecraft sunset that is, will be the completion of the stand-up EVA. At 26 hours 30 minutes through 27 hours, a D5 star occultation experiment using the Agena for attitude control will be conducted. At 27 hours 15 minutes, the phase adjust maneuver, approximately 4 foot per second posigrade, will be made using the Agena, and also they will pitch down and take several S5 synoptic terrain and S6 synoptic weather photographs. At 28 hours 3 minutes through 28 hours and 40 minutes, they will again run the D5 star occultation experiment, again using the Agena to align the spacecraft. At 28 hours 55 minutes, the tracking ship Coastal Sentry will give the crew a planned landing area update for several landing areas in advance. Also, a flight plan report. At 28 hours 40 minutes through 29 hours 40 minutes is another hour's eat period. At 29 hours 20 minutes, Hawaii will take the crew status report and also a flight plan update. The crew at this time will purge both fuel cells 1 and 2. At 29 hours 40 minutes through 39 hours, ground elapsed time is a sleep period. During the sleep period just ending at the present time, there has been no propellant used by in the OHM system. Approximately 380 pounds of propellant are remaining. Of this, 180 pounds are fuel, 200 pounds of oxidizer. Originally loaded aboard the spacecraft were 950 pounds of propellant. At 16 hours, 34 minutes, and 44 seconds after liftoff, this is Gemini Control.
This is Gemini Control at 16 hours, 54 minutes into the flight. Gemini 10 is within range of the Canary Island station. The black team of flight controllers, headed by Flight Director Cliff Charlesworth, is in the process of taking over the consoles here in the Mission Control Center. And we are estimating a change of shift press briefing in the news center at Houston at approximately 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is Gemini Control. This is Gemini Control, 17 hours, 30 minutes into the flight. And Gemini 10 and its Agena are down over Australia within range of the Carnarvon station. Gemini 10 is in a 413 by 160 nautical mile orbit. The Agena 8 is in a 215 by 217 nautical mile orbit. And the spacecraft lags the 8 Agena by about 250 nautical miles. We have a tape from the start of this Carnarvon pass. This is our first contact with the crew since they awakened, and we'll play that for you now.
Carnarvon has telemetry solid Agena and Gemini, all systems are go.
Roger, Carnarvon.
This is over Canary. Gyro compass Agena, CDA, aft. Spacecraft 000. And when you're aligned and platform warmed up, engage to Agena. And place the Agena in FC2. Got that so far? Roger, with you, go ahead. Okay, also at 1945 over the U.S. And Agena staying dumb. And they'll check your VN load. At 20, 21, 22, NC1, a PPS maneuver. Gyro compass Agena CDA south, spacecraft 0 minus 90, right after the maneuver. Between 2020 and 2120, preliminary stand-up EVA prep. Between 2120 and 2220, on the 2220, prepare for NSR. 223825, NSR, PPS maneuver. 2240 until 2340. Final stand-up EVA prep. 2352.
This is Gemini Control at 18 hours, 44 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 is over the continent of Africa. We've had some line problems and some electrical problems on the public affairs console here in the Mission Control Center that caused us to lose some of the tape on these past tracking station passes. We've gone to a backup source. We now have the Carnarvon tape ready. We will replay that in its entirety, and we'll follow that with the United States pass as soon as that is ready. Now, in this Carnarvon pass, you will hear a reference to advice from the Capcom to the crew to keep their head within the cockpit during a certain time period. This is in reference to a French nuclear test that was conducted this morning. The spacecraft was to pass over the location of the test. However, this country and France had coordinated on both the test and the flight. But as an extra precaution, we wanted the crew to not look outside at this certain time. Now, as it turned out, the test had already been conducted, so there would have been no problem. This was a test down in French Polynesia in the Pacific. Let's play that Carnarvon tape now, and we hope to have the United States pass ready for you as soon as it's over.
Carnarvon has telemetry solid Agena and Gemini, all systems are go.
Roger, Carnarvon.
This is over Canary. Gyro compass Agena, CDA, aft. Spacecraft 000. And when you're aligned and platform warmed up, dump, and they'll check your VN load. At 202122 NC1, a PPS maneuver. Gyro compass Agena TDA south, spacecraft 0 minus 90, right after the maneuver. Between 2020 and 2120, preliminary stand-up EVA prep. Between 2120 and 2220, on the 2220, prepare for NSR. 223825, NSR, PPS maneuver. 2240 until 2340, final stand-up EVA prep. 2352, sunrise minus 10 minutes. Go to FC6 on the Agena. Open spacecraft hatch. Perform normal stand-up EVA, except delete S13. Following completion of MSC8 experiment, check gravity gradient effect. That's heads up. Then roll heads down using the spacecraft and check the gravity gradient again. Follow all this by the S5 type photograph. At 2458, that's sunset, completion of stand-up EVA. After repress, maneuver the Agena TDA forward, spacecraft 0180, flight control mode 1. Purge fuel cells, section 2, and then section 1, and power down the spacecraft.
Carnarvon, Capcom, Houston, play.
Stand by 10. Go ahead, play.
Carnarvon, tell the crew to please keep their eyes looking inside the cockpit from an elapsed time of 1745 to 1755. Do not look at the ground.
Roger, copy. Okay, one final item between 2500 and 2630. EVA stowage. Okay, we've been requested to pass along to you that between times 1745 and 1755, keep your eyes in the cockpit, don't look at the ground. And that's all we have for you. Copy all that? No, roger.
Carnarvon, Houston, play.
Go ahead, play.
Did you get that ERT in?
That's permanent. Okay, Carnarvon, we received all that. We'll do it. Okay, fine. We have about a minute before LOS will be standing by. All systems look great here on it. Play, Carnarvon.
Go ahead.
Okay, reset timer reset with send at 154603.
Okay.
Carnarvon, Capcom AFD, another Agena Alpha, please.
Roger. We've had an LOS false signal.
Roger, an Agena India also, please.
Roger.
This is Gemini Control. This French test did not create hazardous conditions for the Gemini 10 crew. The spacecraft is well above the danger zone. We have the tape of the stateside pass, and we'll play that for you now.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Go.
Roger. Good morning, John. We'd like a crew status report and a radiometer reading, please.
Roger, crew status is go. Gun counter reads 335. We slept pretty good last night. Radiator reads .78 rads, and it's off. The dose rate is off scale low.
Roger. Would you turn your encoder off for an Agena tape dump, please? Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom, would you turn the encoder off for an Agena tape dump?
Roger, encoder off.
Roger, and we'd like a fuel cell purge starting with section 1.
Roger, fuel cell purge.
And would you switch your A pump on primary loop?
Roger, A pump's on, B pump's off.
Roger. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom, can we have a PQI, please?
Roger, same as last night, 32%.
Roger.
Houston, Gemini 10, purge is complete, going to O2 for 10 seconds. Houston, you copy Gemini 10?
Say again, Gemini 10?
I say again, purge is completed, and I'm in O2 if you want to read out the quantity now.
Roger, we'd like cryo quantity readout.
Switching over to H2. And cryo select back to off.
Roger, Gemini 10. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Gemini 10, go.
Roger, after your gyro compassing, did you send 460 for the horizon sensors to low gain?
That's negative.
Roger, then we'll send 76 from the ground since your encoder's off.
Encoder's off.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom, encoder on.
Roger, encoder back on.
Roger.
Losses acquisition, Grand Park.
LOSM taken.
Go. Roger, I've got a PLA update for you when you're ready to copy.
Roger, stand by. This is 10, go ahead.
Roger, area 15-1. 224505. 23 plus 50. 29er plus 06. Area 16-1. 241318. 31 plus 07. 38 plus 25. Area 17-4. 270724. 31 plus 07. 38 plus 43. Area 18-4. 284436. 31 plus 07. 38 plus 45. Area 19er-3. 300451. 30 plus 58. 38 plus 27. Area 20-3. 314256. 31 plus 05. 38 plus 22. Bank angle for all areas is 9090. Weather in all areas is good, and you have a set maneuver for each area. Area 15. is based on a retro pitch angle of minus 20 degrees. And area 16-1 to through 20-3 are based on a pitch angle of 0 degrees. Over. Oh, Roger, we received your update. Oh, Roger. We've got you go on the ground here, Gemini 10, and we'll be standing by. Roger, we'll go up here. Flight, Canary Capcom.
Go ahead.
Okay, Baker Alpha 07, reading 730. You want him to bump it up a little bit?
Stand by. Canary Capcom, Houston flight.
Go play.
You might tell the crew that we have seen the pressure drop a little bit. Remind them to keep it above 450 on board.
Roger. Gemini 10, Canary. 10, go. Okay, we've seen your cryo O2 pressure drop a little bit. Might want to bump it up.
Keep it above
Roger, thank you.
450.
That's 450 on board. 600 on board, over.
Canary Capcom, Houston flight.
Go flight.
Tell him that you would like for him to keep it above 450 on board.
Roger. 10, I meant to keep it above 450 on board. Gemini 10, Canaries, about a minute for our LOS. We'll be standing by. 10, Roger.
Say again, Canary.
I was just telling him about a minute before our LOS.
Roger.
Canary, Houston procedures.
Go to procedures.
Did you go by your corrected copy of Special 19/0008 or R19/1349 and send all those Agena contingencies and the main we needed and the X?
Houston procedures, Canary Capcom.
Canary, Houston procedures.
Okay, we're not due to send those until Rev 16.
I show Rev 12 too.
We sent them on 12. This is Agena 13.
Roger, my mistake. Good show. Okay, you can disregard the BA07 counts from now on.
Roger, whip head LOS.
Carnarvon Capcom, AFD.
Go ahead.
Okay, just making a voice check. How you copy?
I read you loud and clear. I've received here a VM work. Stand by. We just received a VM load, and it doesn't jive with the CT we received.
Okay, stand by one.
Carnarvon procedures on DOS conference.
Go ahead.
Okay, have you received GM load 126?
I'm questioning that right now.
You're reading it?
I'm questioning it.
I see.
It doesn't seem to jive with the ET, Don.
Oh, it doesn't jive with the ET, roger.
And, would you get Agena and find out what that thing is supposed to read?
Gena's talking to flight on it right now, Carnarvon.
Okay, standing by.
Carnarvon, Houston, Agena.
Go ahead.
Okay, would you ask your question again? What was the question on the VM load?
Okay, I received the VM load and it doesn't jive with this ET that we received.
Okay. What's the discrepancy there, Jim? I haven't received a copy of my pad message back.
Well, I don't know where the discrepancy is, if it's in the load or if it's in the ET. It's pretty close to correct, but it's not quite right. Can you tell me what the VM load is supposed to be?
Let's come up on GOS 2 here, Jim. Let me pick you up on GOS 2.
Okay. AFD Carnarvon. AFD Carnarvon.
AFD, go ahead.
Roger, on this height adjust update. Is it necessary
Stand by, man. Carnarvon, Capcom, AFD.
AFD, Carnarvon.
Roger, we'd like your C-band track first, then your S-band track.
Say that again. Oh, C-band track first, roger.
Roger. Carnarvon, Capcom, Houston, play.
Go ahead, flight, Carnarvon.
What's your question on the special, Jim?
Okay, I just want to know if you want to add those words, including, like time start command is to be transmitted.
Yeah, I don't think that'll hurt anything. Just to be sure.
Say again?
That won't hurt anything. Go ahead and add it.
Okay. Oh, we have telemetry solid both vehicles.
Roger.
Gemini, thanks, Carnarvon. Go. Roger, standing by, to go. Roger, Gemini, go. Roger, you go here on the ground. We have a head adjust update for you. Okay. Yep, main engine burn. 1 second. Thrusters, PPS. And the maneuver is EVA aft, retrograde. Roger. We're covered. Okay, all systems are go here. Roger, Carnarvon. What's the delta V of that burn we need for SS-25? Okay, delta V 340. And that includes yellow.
Carnarvon, Houston, play.
Go ahead.
Did you give him core 25?
I gave delta V. You want me to give that 110?
Say again, I can hardly read you.
25. He said he wanted delta V. I'll give him core 25 though if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I think that's what he wanted in the update.
Okay. 10 Carnarvon. 10 go? Okay, let me give you that core 25, okay? Roger, go. 931. Roger, 93331. That's firm. You got the L-band on right now? Okay.
Carnarvon, flight. Did you get the load in?
The VM load, that's affirmative.
Roger. Is the encoder on or off?
The encoder is on, the L-band is off.
Roger.
Oh, we've transmitted TX flight.
Say again?
I said we've transmitted TX.
Roger.
TM was on at our AOS.
Roger.
Was that supposed to be left on?
Negative.
Or something?
Carnarvon from flight. How's the Agena look?
It's all go.
Roger.
This is Gemini Control at 19 hours, 14 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 has just passed out of range of the Carnarvon, Australia station. We will not conduct any docking practices today. The original flight plan had called for Gemini 10 to undock and separate from the Agena 10 immediately after the co-elliptic maneuver today. However, we intend to stay docked to the Agena 10 until tomorrow, just prior to the terminal phase initiation for the rendezvous with the 8 Agena. That means that the crew will sleep docked with the Agena 10 again tonight. We have a tape of the Carnarvon pass, and we'll play that for you now.
12.5 minutes past flight.
Stand by. I'm reading you very weak, Carnarvon.
How about that?
That's better.
Okay, I'll use the microphone.
Helps. Carnarvon from flight.
Go ahead.
Send us a Gemini experiment message.
Roger. Gemini 10 Carnarvon, we have about 1 more minute before all the rest will be standing by. 10, Roger.
This is Gemini Control at 19 hours, 29 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 is down over the South Pacific. We still show an orbit of 413 by 160 nautical miles for Gemini 10 and its Agena. And the Agena 8 orbit, 215 by 217 nautical miles. We're less than an hour away now from a primary propulsion system burn on the 10 Agena. That's due to occur at 20 hours, 21 minutes elapsed time. This will be a retrograde maneuver, and it is designed to bring the Gemini 10 apogee down to 7 miles below that of the Agena 8. This is Gemini Control at 19 hours, 30 minutes into the flight of Gemini 10. "44 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 is coming up on the Guaymas tracking station. Should acquire within about a minute. We intend to try to bring you this pass live. We'll be standing by to acquire the spacecraft from Guaymas. The change in the flight plan, which keeps the spacecraft docked to the Agena 10, will mean that we will be doing the stand-up EVA while docked. However, we intend to try to carry out all of the EVA flight plan in a dock condition. This would include the S-13 experiment, the ultraviolet experiment. We're standing by now, waiting for the spacecraft to get into range of the Guaymas station. Should occur momentarily.
Guaymas remote. Go.
Roger, request encoder off.
Roger, encoder's off. We're ground compassing around TDA aft now.
Roger. Agena recommends that in the future, when you gyro compass, they'd like for you to do it in FC6 instead of FC1, so there won't be any problem with this high or low gain switching. It doesn't cost any significant additional fuel.
Okay.
And have you hooked up your shoulder harness and lap belts for your PPS burn?
Roger, I don't believe that's necessary, but it's about 1 G negative CP.
Roger, John. Just thought I'd get a check with you. We're standing by.
AFD Guaymas.
Go ahead, Guaymas.
Okay, we have no signal on Gemini TM. Would you have turn his TM on, please?
You have no signal on Gemini TM. You want TM on?
Roger.
Guaymas, Houston flight.
Go flight.
Yeah, we had Carnarvon turn the TM off. We'll turn it on over the States here.
Okay.
How's the Agena look?
Looks good, flight.
Okay.
We can see him gyro compassing around now. Houston flight, Guaymas.
Go ahead.
Okay, he's in FC2 now. He's got a L-band code lock at this time.
Roger. How's the Agena look?
Looks real fine. Flight, Guaymas.
Go ahead.
Would you have the astronaut send a power relay reset, please?
Send power relay reset.
Roger. We have Gemini TM solid.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
10 go.
Roger, verify encoder on.
Encoder is on.
Roger, would you send command 271?
Roger.
Right, that's power reset. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom, will you turn the encoder off for an Agena tape dump?
Encoder is off.
Roger, 10.
Computer TM, Agena guidance.
Go ahead.
I set dog 5 to 150.
Could you repeat that, please?
That's Delta 5 to 150.
Upper or lower?
Upper.
Roger. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Gemini 10, go.
Roger, the ground's going to send a TPS cutoff signal to verify the valve positions. No action required on your part, just wanted to alert you.
Roger, encoder's still off.
Roger. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
10, go.
Roger, we show on the ground you have your yaw rate gyro on and the pitch and roll off. Do you confirm this?
Yes, sir. Partner took the gyro compass.
Roger. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Computer TM, Econ.
Go ahead.
What's happening to the hydrogen?
Roger, request the encoder off for this tape dump and VM load verification.
When the data gets noisy, it goes out. We have to put in another row.
Roger, encoder's off.
Roger, encoder's off. I'll give you a call when we can put it back on, John.
Roger, thank you.
Roger, we got it.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
10, go.
Roger, you can turn your encoder back on. We got a VM compare. You go for the burn, and we've got the dump complete.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
10, go ahead.
Roger, we show your cryo O2 down about 500. You want to bump it up before this burn?
Roger, bump it.
Roger.
Readout electrical. Do we have good TM at this time? That's affirmative.
Electrical, we're processing Bermuda Gemini, which is real good. The Agena is noisy from downrange.
Okay, thank you. Readout electrical.
Go ahead, electrical.
Can we have CA09 and PCM counts, please?
Roger.
Loss of acquisition, Grand Turk.
This is Gemini Control at 20 hours, 16 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 is over Africa. We're about 4 minutes away from this primary propulsion system burn of the Agena to lower the Gemini 10 apogee to about 210 nautical miles or 7 miles below the apogee of the Gemini 8 Agena. This burn will take place within range of the Kano, Nigeria tracking station. We will get telemetry information from it, however we have no voice capability from Kano. We won't be in touch with the crew again until they reach the Carnarvon station in Australia. This is Gemini Control. This is Gemini Control, 20 hours, 29 minutes into the flight. We were able to contact the spacecraft over the Kano station. We remoted through Kano, and Capcom C.C. Williams had a brief conversation with John Young. John reported a good burn of the primary propulsion system, 340 feet per second burn, duration 11 seconds. We have not been able to refine this orbit yet, but we're looking for an orbit of 210 by 160. We have the tape of that Kano pass and some brief conversation with the Canary Islands prior to that. We'll play that for you now.
Canary says TM solid, both vehicles.
Roger.
CNS band track. Gemini 10, Canary Capcom. Gemini 10, go. Roger, I'm going to send you a TX. Roger. Update received.
Houston flight.
Go flight.
Okay, we're ready for him to go back to auto on the heater, O2 heater, whenever the pressure's up, okay?
I think he already has the heats off now.
Okay. How's the Agena look?
Okay, he's still in FC6. He should be going to 7 here shortly.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Canaries, you go to flight control mode 7?
Negative. He goes 3 minutes prior to the
We're
burn.
going now.
Okay, Canary. Canary Capcom, Houston flight.
Go flight.
Send us an Agena main after he goes to FC7, please.
Roger, will do. Okay, he's in FC7 now.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Canary Capcom. You've got to go for your PPS burn. Roger, on flight control mode 7. Roger. Gemini 10, Canary, you can place your quantity read switch to the off position. Roger, quantity read off. Okay, Houston flight, Canary Capcom.
Go ahead.
His attitudes are holding real stable in there.
Roger.
Looks good.
Okay. Canary Houston flight, send us a Gemini LOS main.
Roger. 10 Canaries, about a minute before LOS. We'll be standing by. 10, Roger.
Canary Houston flight.
Go flight.
Did you check the VM?
That's affirmative.
Let's go.
It is go.
Roger.
Flight Canaries, with that LOS, both systems go.
Roger, Canary.
Can all go to boat.
Commerce remote.
Gemini 10, Houston Capcom, standing by.
Roger, we're about to burn this flight.
Gemini 10, Houston Capcom.
Understand it was good burn. He's reading out 1-3.
All right, you understand. A good burn. Say again, readout.
80 is 00013. 81 is 00119. 82 is 00006.
All right, you.
It may only be 1G, but it's the biggest 1G we ever saw. That thing really lights empty.
Roger.
This is Gemini Control at 20 hours 59 minutes, and Gemini 10 is just passing off the east coast of Australia. A preliminary look at this primary propulsion burn shows that we achieved about 335 feet per second instead of 340, and we're showing an orbit now of 213 by 160 nautical miles. This data will be refined later. We have a tape from the Carnarvon Pass, and we'll play that for you now.
Gyro compass EVA north. Spacecraft 0 plus. Agena flight control at 2326. Sunset. Speed 2332 and 2342. Deep breath spacecraft and open hatch. S13 2342. 20 exposures at 20 seconds each. At 2402. Sunrise. Camera in bracket. Normal day pass for EVA after normal day pass for the EVA.
Agena, TDA forward. Spacecraft 010. That's it. These 20 exposures of S-13, what are they taking pictures of? Which star field?
Carnarvon, comply.
Go ahead.
Tell him there'll be no maneuvers required during those pictures, just whatever he's got. Southern sky.
Roger. Okay, no maneuvers for those pictures. No maneuvers at all.
Just tell him the southern sky.
Okay. Say again. Flight?
I said just take pictures of the southern sky
Okay.
for those 20 exposures.
Okay, southern sky, okay. Roger, thank you.
Carnarvon, Houston, play.
Go ahead.
Send us an LOS main, Agena.
Roger that.
How's the Agena look?
Both systems look solid as a rock.
Roger. Having trouble reading you again, Jim.
It must be pretty bad calm at this time of the morning. Okay, Sam, this is Carnarvon. We've received the Agena tape off. You can turn your recorder back on. We have about a minute before LOS. Carnarvon has TM LOS, both Agena and Gemini. All systems go at LOS.
Roger, Carnarvon.
This is Gemini Control, 21 hours, 14 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 is just passing out of range of the Canton Island Station in the Pacific. We had some brief conversation during that pass, and we'll play that tape for you now.
Okay, Ed, evidently the data has changed. We don't show you having a pass at all.
Okay, give me a flight plan nodal update on GOS2 on my voice data, and I'll tell my people where to look.
Okay, you want a flight plan nodal update, right?
Roger.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Hands go.
Roger, I have an update for your orbital map and overlay, if you're ready to copy.
Hands go.
Roger, Rev 13, 149.3 west, right ascension 0528.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Houston.
Hands go.
Roger, did you go TDA forward at 2120 or immediately after NH1?
Say again, we're already TDA forward.
Roger, we're trying to determine when you went TDA forward for temperature constraints. Over.
I hear the flight plan update over Carnarvon, so we'll go TDA forward when we finish the burn.
Roger, that's fine. Gemini 10, Houston.
Hands go.
Roger, please verify your ohms heater circuit breaker closed. Roger.
This is Gemini Control at 21 hours, 29 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 is over Mexico on its 13th revolution. The Capcom here in the control center, Al Bean, the backup command pilot on this flight, started conversation with the crew just a short time ago. We'll pick up the start of that conversation now.
Climate Gemini and Agena, PCM, solid.
Limas remote.
Limas remote. Flight Guaymas East in FC6, still gyro compassing.
Say again, please.
I say the Agena is in FC6 and it's still gyro compassing.
Roger.
Gemini looks good.
Roger.
Flight way at 000, looking good.
Gemini 10, Houston.
Gemini 10, go.
Roger, we've been taking a look at this rolling heads-down maneuver scheduled following the early part of your EVA, especially considering the hard suit and turning off and on the Agena ACS, and we wonder what your feeling is up there.
That's okay, Al.
Roger, we'll understand then that you'll go ahead and look at it then as you progress through the EVA, and if it looks acceptable, then you'll just do it at that time. Is that right?
That's correct, Al. Houston, this is Gemini 10, over.
10, this is Houston, go ahead.
Roger, is this next burn the last PPS burn we've got scheduled, over?
That is affirmative.
Okay, because I don't want to put up the front bonnet if we're going to be burning that PPS anymore.
We understand. No, this is the last PPS burn.
Roger.
This is Gemini Control. We're standing by for further conversation between the crew and the control center here.
Gemini 10, Houston, would you place your encoder switch off? We'd like to perform a tape dump. Gemini 10, would you place your encoder switch off? We'd like to perform a tape dump.
Off.
Roger.
Why is this local?
Gemini 10, Houston.
10, go.
Roger, we show that the Agena has been using quite a bit of gas in flight control mode 6 since Carnarvon. Could you go to flight control mode 1 for coast?
Okay.
That's after we finish the tape dump and encoder's back on again.
Okay, give us a word and we'll send it.
Roger.
Okay, AOS Antigua.
Gemini 10, Houston, you can return your encoder switch to on this time.
Roger, and we're going to FC1.
Roger, we'll be talking to you again on Canaries.
This is Gemini Control at 21 hours, 44 minutes into the flight, and Gemini 10 is about midway across the Atlantic, out of range of any tracking station. This is a time period set aside for the crew's second meal of the day. They're also doing some preparations for the next primary propulsion system burn on the Agena. That is scheduled to come at 22 hours, 38 minutes elapsed time. Will be a co-elliptic maneuver to circularize their orbit, raise the perigee and circularize their orbit. We have a very brief bit of conversation between Bermuda and the spacecraft. We'll play that for you now.
Welcome for acquisition, Grand Turk.
This is Gemini Control at 21 hours, 59 minutes into the flight. And Gemini 10 is over Africa on its 14th revolution. Now within range of the Kano, Nigeria station. We've had no conversation remoted from Kano since that station acquired. But we do have a tape of some conversation over the Canary Island tracking station, and we'll play that for you now.
Gemini 10, Canary Capcom. 10, go. Roger, I'd like to send you a TX first of all. Okay. Canaries, I'd like to have you turn your encoder off. We'll uplink your VM word for the NSR. Roger, encoder off. 10 Canaries, I have your update for NSR. You ready to copy? Roger, NS ready to copy. Okay, purpose is NSR. DTB 223651. Delta V 75.7. Delta T 01 plus 28. Core 2500689. TDA forward, TPS. That's all I have at this time. I'll update you if I get further information. Roger, we received it.
This is Gemini Control Houston, 23 hours, 59 minutes. And we're hearing again from the 10 crew via Carnarvon. Mike Collins started off the conversation by describing an extremely bright object. I believe he's theorizing it might be the Agena. Here's how the conversation is going over Carnarvon.
Carnarvon has telemetry solid, all systems go.
Roger, Carnarvon.
Gemini 10, if you read, sun is just beginning to come out that we've completed the S-13. Off to the east, we see an extremely bright object. I believe it's too bright to be a planet. It's north of Orion, about 6 or 8 degrees. Right now it's approximately 8 degrees. The Gemini 8 Agena, over. Roger, we copy that. Stand by. Is that it makes just about an equilateral triangle with the belt stars in Orion and with the Pleiades. Do you notice that thing moving relative to the stars? Possible. I haven't noticed any movement so far, and unfortunately the stars are disappearing. I only can see this object and one or two other first. Sun's starting to come up. Roger, copy that.
This is Gemini Control Houston. During this pause, it's worth noting that Collins' suit pressure has been a very steady 3.8 pounds per square inch. We have been checking here with the surgeon's console, and he advises the rates, or he describes them as casual, about 100 on each man. That's the heartbeat. And that's approximately what they ran during the launch phase. No additional conversation coming right now, although we probably have another 3 to 4 minutes in the Carnarvon Pass. We'll monitor it.
Carnarvon, Houston flight.
Go ahead.
I don't know, we got the Agena 8 at a range of 1073 at minus 7.8.
You say 1073?
Affirm.
At minus 7.8.
To the local horizontal.
Copy that.
You might pass that over.
This is Gemini 10, over. Go ahead. Hi, Roger. Mike's putting together MSC 8 start to put together a telescope to grab some pictures of the plate. Lost it once, it floated out, but he grabbed it. Okay. Incidentally, the Agena we have at about, range of about 1073 at minus 7.8 for the local horizontal. Roger. Incidentally, 10, we've got visual sighting of you.
This is Gemini Control Houston. Again, the suit pressures, both the left suit and the right suit, showing 3.8 pounds per square inch, very steady all the way across the Carnarvon Pass. The suit inlet temperature on John Young's suit is 48 degrees even, and on Mike Collins, 47.8 degrees. That's the inlet temperature. Of course, the temperature up in the upper body would probably be more like 65 in the high 60s. And in all likelihood now we have completed the conversation for the Carnarvon Pass. Hawaii will be the next acquisition. Canton Island may get a little bit before we reach Hawaii. And Hawaii is to acquire at 20... Canton Island will acquire at 2421. We're presently 2407. Let's go back.
Pulling in her. That's right.
This is Gemini Control Houston. That undoubtedly wraps up the conversation for this pass. We will be back up in about 11 minutes from now with the Canton Island pass. Presently show 24 hours, 9 minutes into the flight. This is Gemini Control Houston, 24 hours, 21 minutes into the flight. We have not acquired the spacecraft via Canton yet, but that acquisition should come momentarily. The Canton station now has been remoted, the voice network advises. The duration of our EVA is planned for approximately another 19 minutes. Our flight plan calls for the hatch to be closed and repressurization to take place at an elapsed time of 24 hours and 40 minutes. That event would occur approximately over the central United States within the Guaymas, Corpus Christi area of acquisition. All ears here in the control center are straining to pick up the first conversation via Canton, but as yet we hear nothing. This is Gemini Control, now C.C. Williams here. Let's put in a call and Mike Collins is coming back. The crew, this is Gemini Control. The crew advises that they are back in the spacecraft, they have closed the hatch, and they are repressurizing the cabin. This is Gemini Control. Collins is advising that they suspect there was some small problem cropped up in their ECS system. We don't completely understand this yet, but it appears that this problem made them decide to conclude the EVA earlier than planned, to get back in and repress the cabin and figure out exactly where they were. We have the tape conversation, or we'll have it here momentarily. The Hawaii station is now acquiring, they have telemetry, and we'll start the conversation. The Canton and Hawaii passes overlap this time. We'll start the conversation as it began several minutes ago over Canton.
Canton, go remote.
Gemini 10, Houston Capcom, standing by. Roger, understand you're back in and the hatch is closed? Roger, understand something in the ECS made your eyes water and smells. Roger. Roger. Roger.
We understand it happened to both you and John, is that correct?
Hawaii has ACADE contact. Hawaii has C-band and S-band track. Roger 10, this is Hawaii, how do you read?
I notice your cabin is up good and solid. Do you have your faceplate open or shut?
Say again, what?
Are your faceplates open or closed at this time?
They're open.
They are open, okay.
Well, I don't know what it is. It smells sort of pungent. It really makes your eyes water.
Okay, does the smell remind you of anything else that we can relate it to?
Nothing that I can relate it to.
Okay.
That's the thing here, nothing that I can remember. I did smell some lithium hydroxide a couple of years ago. It might be the power of suggestion, but it appears to smell something like that lithium hydroxide.
Okay, stand by one.
Hawaii, Capcom, Houston flight.
Flight away.
Yeah, ask them if they can see any flakes around each other's eyes.
Okay, the PCO2, which would be going up if the scrubber was bad, is reading 0. 10, do you see any kind of flakes around your eyes at all, or the other man's eyes?
Negative. They're just slightly red and slightly swollen, and they seem to be getting a little bit better.
Okay. That PCO2 flight is off scale low.
Roger.
Flight, would you like to run a purge with the O2 high rate?
Negative.
Okay. The Agena's looking real good. And other than that, the astronauts are looking real good from the doctor's side of you.
Roger.
And in flight control mode 2, we're getting a lot of ACS gas jet activity. Flight, what do you say we go to flight control mode 1 and save some of this gas?
Okay, is the Agena settled out? Is it holding steady?
Attitudes are pretty well steadied out and holding good.
Stand by. Concur, Hawaii.
Okay.
Command 451.
Roger, and 460 also flight. 10 away.
Go ahead.
Okay, we'd like to cut down on some of this ACS gas usage. I'd like you to send command 451 deadband wide and command 460 ACS gain low.
Hawaii, Eastern flight.
Put you over in flight control mode 1. Start flight.
Roger.
Find out what pumps they have on.
1. Roger. Say again, flight.
451 and 460 have been sent.
Find out what pumps they have on.
Primary A and secondary B.
That's affirmative. Primary pump A and secondary B, that's the configuration we've been in for the last hour and a half.
Okay, very good. Copy that, flight.
Hawaii flight.
Flight away.
Verify the radiator's in flow.
Okay. Okay, will you verify to me that the radiator is in flow?
Roger, the radiator's sort of flow.
Okay. Any change on the odor?
Negative. It sort of appears to get better and worse in waves. Our eyes are not watering as badly as they were while I was EVA. They're apparently getting better, but there definitely is still an odor with it.
Okay. Flight away.
Copy.
Okay, the ECS control valves has just come down onto scale.
Roger.
And I'll give you a readout here in a second. All ACS gas activity is just about to cease now that he's in flight control mode 1.
Okay.
Flight away.
Go ahead.
Okay, ECS control valve outlet temp primary, Charlie Dog 03 is 41.0. ECS control valve outlet temp secondary, Charlie Dog 04 is 52.9. I have my doubts whether or not he was in flow prior to our mentioning it.
Say again, Hawaii?
I have my doubts whether or not he was in flow prior to our saying something to him. Because as soon as we mentioned that, that's when the control valve outlet temps came on scale.
This is Gemini Control, Houston, 24 hours, 34 minutes into the flight. recapping our situation here as we came into the Canton, Hawaii area acquisition. The crew reported they had concluded the stand-up EVA when they both had noted a burning sensation around their eyes, and they noted that their eyes were watering somewhat. They also noted a foreign odor in the cabin. Mike Collins said he was not sure, but he thought it might be lithium hydroxide. This is a chemical used to remove carbon dioxide from the ECS, or the breathing oxygen circuit. He's not sure. We recall in the Gemini 4 flight that Jim McDivitt and Ed White had some eye watering and some difficulty with the lithium hydroxide in the circuit. The cabin temperature is stable at 80. The total vehicle is quite stable. And the environmental control specialists back here in Houston and in Hawaii are looking very carefully at this problem. This is Gemini Control, Houston.
They will be going.
This is Gemini Control, Houston, 24 hours, 43 minutes into the flight. California has reacquired the 10 spacecraft, and in conversation with this control center, John Young reports that he had some watering around his eyes during the night pass, during their EVA pass, which started over South Africa and across the Indian Ocean. He said he didn't want to mention it. It wasn't too bad, apparently, and he specifically said he was afraid someone would think he was a sissy if he mentioned it. But then later on, apparently east of Australia, it got worse, and apparently about that point, Mike Collins reported that he too was having difficulty to the point it was very difficult to see. Their eyes were watering and smarting. It was between Australia and the Canton area that the crew decided to conclude the EVA and find out what was causing the eye irritation. Since approximately Hawaii, the crew has been in the oxygen high rate mode on their environmental control system. This high rate mode bypasses the lithium hydroxide element, which could be the culprit here. It's only a suspicion right now, and it's not confirmed. But from Collins' suggestion, it could be irritation coming from that area. The surgeons are recommending that the crew use little wet wipe cloths available to them to wash around their eyes to ensure that there are no flakes to remove perhaps the source of any residual irritation. They're also suggesting that the crew might use some eye drops aboard the spacecraft, specifically methyl cellulose eye drops, in each eye to ease any lingering irritation. We have now the tape conversation beginning via California.
Any change at all, Tim?
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Yes, so.
Roger, we recommend you close your faceplates and go to O2 high rate. You'll bypass your lithium hydroxide filters and get direct O2 flow.
Roger, saw that.
Collins says TM solid. Those control valves look good, flight.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
10, go.
Roger, I'd like to clarify the position of your radiator switch. Did you go to flow when we mentioned it, or were you in flow when we called you?
We went to flow. We was in bypass when we repassed over.
Roger. Have you noticed any improvement in O2 high rate?
Yeah, I think so. It's a pretty, slow and gradual. I don't, once we got back here and got our faceplates up, we stopped, we got where we could see what we were doing.
Roger. When did you first notice the problem, John?
Just about sunrise. It was good all through the night. I was crying a little through the night, but I didn't say anything about it because I figured I'd just be a sissy. But, our eyes were watering, but I just figured that was just oxygen fluid. And Mike said he couldn't see anything at all. So, well, after he said that, I couldn't see anything at all. So I guess we had to call it off.
Roger, I think it's a wise move.
Daybreak. But it didn't have anything to do with sunlight, because Mike was the only one who looked at sunlight. I was inside.
Roger. Did you ever roll inverted?
No, never tried that.
Okay.
Guaymas, go remote. California, go local.
Guaymas, remote. California, local.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Stand call.
Roger, I recommend you leave your faceplates closed, turn off the O2 high rate, turn the suit fan switch to 1 and 2, and open the suit fan 1 circuit breaker. The reason we're doing this, John, is to check out the suit fans individually. We'll check out the suit fan 2 in this manner.
Roger, we've done that, CC. We've opened the suit fan 1, the circuit breaker.
Roger, and you're got suit fan 1 and 2 on.
That's affirmative.
Okay, notice any improvement or degradation?
Well, stand by one. This is sort of a long-term thing. It's hard to tell right off.
Roger. After you've been there long enough to satisfy yourself that it has not changed significantly, we'd like for you to suit fan switch to the number 1 position and close the number 1 suit circuit breaker.
Well, in this configuration, we're starting to smell it again. It's worse now than it was when we were on O2 high rate.
Okay, then switch to suit fan number 1 and turn on suit fan 1 circuit breaker.
Okay, that's done.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom, you might try a quick O2 high rate flush there to clean it out before you check it in the second configuration.
Might try what, CC?
You might try a quick purging the suit there by going to O2 high rate and then back into this suit fan number 1 configuration.
Okay.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Loud and clear.
Roger, how's it doing on the number 1 suit fan?
We're still on O2 high rate, CC, to give it a fair shake. Here, let me get out of O2 high rate and we'll try it on number 1.
Okay, no rush. Make sure you got it good and purged first, Mike.
Yeah, I think we're out of O2 high rate now on suit fan number 1.
Roger.
Yeah, we still smell it in this configuration. About the only thing we can say for sure is that things are a lot better now than they were half an hour ago. The eye watering and whatnot is very definitely decreasing.
Roger, Mike. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Go.
Have you noticed the excessively high or low humidity in the cabin prior to this problem?
Negative.
AOS Antigua.
Understand you've noticed neither moist nor dry cabin.
No, if anything, it seems to be on the dry side, but I don't know really how you tell. It definitely is not saturated with water.
Okay. Gemini 10, request encoder off.
Action encoder off.
Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom. Roger, is the condition improved or held about the same?
It's about the same, CC.
Roger, we're still looking at it.
So what do you think it is? Well, as long as it doesn't make us cry so bad we can't see, we're okay. But when it gets that way, we're going to have to do something about it.
Roger, we're with you. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom.
Capcom.
Roger, we recommend that you open your faceplates
Wipe your face and eyes off with those wet wash pads you've got, being careful not to get any in your eyes. Use the eye drops in the medical kit if required, and put the recirc valve to the 45-degree position. And if you notice an increase in irritation, close up and go to O2 high rate, and we'll watch it for a while. And John, have you noticed any nose irritation at any time during this process?
A little bit of stuffiness, nothing acute.
All right.
Hello, FD. By the way, Houston, this is sure a good right hatch. It closes very, very easily. The hatch forces are very low, and all the adjustments are just like they should be.
Very good. You didn't have to use the overkill, huh? Gemini 10, Houston Capcom, request encoder on.
All right, encoder's on. LOS, Grand Turk.
Gemini 10, Houston Capcom, we've got about a minute to LOS.
Right, about a minute to lunchtime.
Concur.
This is Gemini Control Houston, 25 hours, 13 minutes into the flight of Gemini 10. We've been watching the O2 situation very carefully, this eye-watering problem, during the course of the pass across the states and down over the Atlantic. The crew has been advised to return to their normal flight configuration, that is, face plates open and breathing the normal oxygen flow that circulates through the cabin. They've also been advised, should the source of their irritation grow, to close the face plates and return to the oxygen high rate. However, they left the oxygen high rate perhaps 10 minutes ago on the lower edge of the Antigua Pass as they were leaving the stateside area. Earlier we heard Mike Collins comment very favorably on how well the hatch worked. This has been a problem in past flights. This one apparently worked extremely well. A lot of effort had gone into it. The theories here in the control center, and their only theories, are that this is very reminiscent of the Gemini 4 problem, wherein Jim McDivitt noted some eye irritation in the early portion of their 4-day flight. That irritation went away, it should be noted, after the passage of some hours, and they completed their 4-day mission. We have now a brief tape conversation via the Ascension Island, from which over which the spacecraft is at this time. Here is that tape.
Gemini 10, Houston Capcom. Roger, how you doing there now?
Okay.
Roger, we recommend you continue with faceplates open and cabin and recirc, and use O2 high rate with faceplates closed as necessary if the irritation comes back. We also recommend that you gyro compass around to a TDA forward configuration. Roger. And after your TDA forward, go flight control mode 1. Gemini 10, Houston Capcom. Have you started your fuel cell purge yet? Gemini 10, Houston Capcom. Say again, Gemini 10. Roger, a GET time hack. It will be 251015 on my mark. 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. 251015.
Say again, Gemini 10. Stand by. Gemini 10, Houston, Capcom. Roger, we don't have anything scheduled at 251810. Say again, I'm not reading you. Roger, we'll give it to you over to NARA.
This is Gemini Control Houston, 26 hours, 27 minutes into the flight. We have some tape conversations backed up from Tananarive. They include Tananarive and Hawaii. The best summary statement on the eye condition came from Mike Collins in the Hawaii area, perhaps 25 to 30 minutes ago. And Collins said it's gradually getting better. He said it's still with us, that is the eye irritation, but it's certainly better than it was an hour and a half ago. This time reference would have been to the first report which we got on the eye irritation, which came from Hawaii after the EVA exercise had been concluded. The crew is setting up now to perform a D5 experiment. This is a star occultation navigational check, wherein Mike Collins will use a photometer instrument held up to his eye. He'll take a sighting on as many as 6 stars and track them to the horizon. It's going to be an extremely difficult control task because the crew plans to use the Agena system as a control vehicle. And the degree of difficulty is much greater in controlling the Agena under this setup than it is with the hand controller. In order to get yaw maneuvers, for instance, either right or left, they must depress certain commands available on Collins' side of the cockpit, send them into the Agena. So therefore it represents a new sort of steering control task. And the results should not be prejudged. We have these tapes backed up, as we said, and we'll play them now.
Tananarive, go remote.
Tananarive remote, we have acquisition.
Gemini 10, Houston. Gemini 10, Houston. Roger, I'd like to give you a flight plan update.
Stand by one. Ready, copy.
Roger, first, have you completed fuel cell purge?
That's fine.
Roger, I understand you have completed the purge. Update follows. First concerns the upcoming docked D5 procedures. Roger, we recommend that you set up the Agena in flight control mode 6, TDA forward. Once this is accomplished, send Agena command 420. Now in this basic configuration, if yaw right is anticipated, send command 411, then yaw on and off as necessary. If yaw left is anticipated, command 410, followed by yaw on and off as required. When D5 is completed, send gyro compassing on and go to flight control mode 1. As a note, leave the horizon sensors and georate on during the yaw maneuvers during D5, and it'll aid you keeping the horizon in the window. Have you copied this much of the update so far, Gemini 10? Roger, I'll continue. At 255500, power up spacecraft, platform, and computer, and load Module 6. At 262000, cage platform to the Agena. At 262500, platform orbit and set up the Agena for D5, mode A. 262943, perform D5, mode A. This will be local sunset time. 272500 at CSQ, you will receive spacecraft vector update for D5 mode D, which will taking place on the following night pass. Time 274535. We have an NC1 maneuver, and we'll be passing you additional information on it later. At 280141, perform D5, mode D, and this is sunset time also. At time 284000, fuel cell purge, section 1, then 2, followed by spacecraft power down. Two 284000 to 294000 is an EAT period. 290000 at CSQ will be passing you PLA block update and flight plan update. 292000 at Hawaii, be crew status report, flight plan update. Sleep period will begin at 294000 and end 393000. Did you copy, Gemini 10?
Let's get a time hack. We knocked the digital clock off the line when we're EVA.
Roger. On my mark, the time will be 253000.
Gemini 10 away. Gemini 10 away. 10 go. Okay, I had a little UHF problem here on the ground. How are you doing? Okay. Okay, how about your eyes? Any change in the irritation or anything in that area? No. You feeling okay? Yep, feeling fine. And it's not bothering you too much? No. Okay, I'd like you to turn your encoder off. I want to link a new time to the Agena. All right, encoder up. Okay. And what position is your TM control switch in? I turned it to real time in ACK a while back in preparation for this experiment. Okay.
Why don't we just leave it there, Hawaii?
You want back to command?
You want to leave it there, Flight?
Yes.
Okay. No, they say they want to leave it there in real time and act.
Right.
And we're showing your cryo O2 tank pressure down about 665. You can bump it up a bit.
All right.
Can Mike say a few words to me? I'd like to hear his voice.
Yeah, what can I do you for?
Okay, thank you.
I saw a bit. I think it's gradually getting better.
You think it's clearing up to you?
It's still with us, but it's better than it was an hour and a half ago.
All ready? Okay, you can put your encoder back on.
Okay, encoder on.
Flight away.
Go ahead, Hawaii.
Okay, we got the SPC load in and enabled. The reason I asked to hear Mike's voice, I wanted to hear whether it was a comm. My doc thinks John might sound just slightly strange, but they say it's starting to clear up a little bit in there.
He says what, Ed?
He said the command pilot's voice might be just slightly strange. Maybe a little depressed.
No, it's the way he sounds.
Yeah, that's what I thought also, but we got a good sound on them. They're okay. It sounds like it's clearing up a bit. And for Carnarvon's sake, the clock is working beautifully.
Roger. Into the GOS conference loop. Hawaii from flight.
Flight away.
What's the pump configuration?
Okay, he's got his primary A and his secondary B.
Roger.
Just stay on there with the heater in the on position. I'll let you know when to cut it off. I got a real long pass, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Capcom from flight.
Flight away, Capcom.
Suggest the crew use a secondary A pump also for the powered up configuration now.
All ready?
Yeah, both A pumps.
Roger. Tim, they're suggesting you use both A pumps, both primary and secondary A pump for the powered up configuration.
Both A pumps on.
Okay, that confirms you're on the ground. Okay, what are you reading on your cryo O2 right now?
Reading 750.
Okay, mark that 750, which is about 912 on the ground. Go back to auto, and you can use the 750 as the mark to go to whenever you want to pump it up alone.
Okay, thank you.
And then when they get the overshoot, that'll put you up to about 920, which is a good level off point on that O2.
Roger.
And I'll have LOS in about a minute. I'll stand by.
Volume AFD, you're prime.
Roger. S-band LOS at Hawaii.
Ground ST, I'm solid. Both vehicles go. He's yelling around ground flight.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Square with Capcom. You're looking good on the ground. We're standing by. And Roger.
Rog, go ahead.
Still look good, flight.
Roger, Guamas.
Houston, Gemini 10, over.
10, Houston, go ahead.
Roger, I don't think these yaw commands are going to work too well because we had such a big overshoot. Come back. We'll try it and see, though.
Roger.
Guamas from flight.
Go, flight.
Can you tell if he's yawing it now? Is he yawing Gina now?
Negative, flight. He's not yawing now.
Okay. Was he at any time during your pass?
That's affirmative. At AOS,
Okay.
he was yawing.
Okay.
Okay, he's going to LC6, flight.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Houston.
10, go ahead.
Roger would like you to send S-band off. That's address 050.
Roger, 050, send.
Roger, did you use the pads around your eyes, and if so, did they have any appreciable effect?
We use the what, over?
The water pads to wipe around your eyes following the eyes watering and irritation.
That seemed to help some.
Roger, did that help or what?
Say again?
What effect did that have?
Are you with Antigua? I don't think it had any effect. I think the thing is clearing up some way.
Roger, we're still a little puzzled exactly what it is, and we're wondering if you recognize this as a distinct odor, or rather just an irritation to the eye that caused a problem.
Seems to me it was an odor.
Roger, odor. Also, did you notice any sort of throat irritation or experience any coughing?
Nope, no coughing.
Roger, we're trying to pin the possible source of these irritations down, and I think those two, as to definite odor and irritation, are two of our best clues right now.
Roger.
Roger, and stand by for a DCS update. Roger. This will be the spacecraft state vector for use in the D5 Mode D experiment next night pass.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Houston, we have maps here indicating load received.
Yeah, update light received.
Roger. Gemini 10, Houston.
440? Yeah. 10, go.
Roger, was that wetting agent applied to both visors prior to flight and also just prior to EVA?
Say again, over.
Roger, was that wetting agent applied to both visors just prior to going EVA?
Affirmative.
Both visors.
But the wetting agent smells in no way like the irritation which we're smelling.
Thank you.
LOS GBI.
This is Gemini Control Houston, 26 hours, 59 minutes into the flight. Over Ascension, a joint acquisition area, Ascension and RKV. We had conversation with the crew about 5 minutes ago. They reported some difficulty in flying the Agena, as was predictable. Flying the Agena by pushing the various command buttons to perform this D5 star occultation experiment. Here's how the conversation went.
Solid Agena. Roger. FT and solid Gemini. Okay. RKV. Both vehicles is go. Okay, RKV. Go, plane. Ask him when he can take the encoder off. He might be in the middle of a maneuver. So tell him when he can take the encoder off to let you know you'll get a load in quickly and have him put it back on.
Roger.
Gemini 10 RKV, Capcom.
That's it, Joe.
Roger. When you got a few minutes, we'd like to load the Agena and let us know when you're free to turn the encoder off, please.
Roger. Why don't you go ahead and do it now? We don't have any.
Roger. Would you turn the encoder off so we can load for the catch-up maneuver?
Roger.
Gemini 10, you can turn your encoder back on.
Roger.
Okay, stand by to copy your pad. You ready to copy, Gemini?
Roger, go ahead.
Okay, the purpose, catch-up maneuver. GETB 274536. Delta T 0 plus 09er. Core 2500077. Thrusters SPS Unit 2. Maneuver TDA forward. Posigrade. You copy.
Roger, understand. Catch up 274536. Delta T 0 plus 09 and 250077. SPS Unit 2 TDA forward.
Roger. Nothing further further for you at this time. We're standing by. Point the VM word is in and verified.
Roger.
He has his encoder back on.
Back on.
Affirmative.
Roger.
Flight, the Agena attitudes are acting up and he has gyro compass off. Do you want him to send command 341? Flight, RKV, Captain.
Go ahead. Go ahead, RKV.
Okay, you're going now.
Go ahead, RKV.
Okay, we showed the Agena as the attitudes were acting up with the gyro compass off, but he is going around now.
Yeah, he's doing D5.
Confirm.
RKV, you want to send us an LOS mean on the Agena?
Affirmative.
And can you confirm the clock reset on the Agena?
That's affirmative. Hour and less than a half a second.
Gemini 10, Houston. Roger, are you able to perform this D5?
I'm by you on the Agena. Every time we turn over there and throw that command to start it comes right back again. Houston, Gemini 10, we've gotten good readings on 2 stars, and so far Alios and Alcade, we're pressing on this.
Gemini 10, Houston, did you call?
Say again?
Did you call?
Roger, say again on D5, we are getting good measurements on Alios and Alcade. Those are the only two we've been able to hold the Agena on so far.
Roger, I understand you had good measurements on Alioth and Alcade. We want to inquire if you have the gyro compassing off. That would be command 340 during this maneuvers.
Yeah, we'll give that a try.
Roger, if with gyro compassing off, it should remain at any of these yaw headings you maneuver to. 2010, Houston. Roger, in the event that 340 doesn't eliminate the problem and it continues to come back to BEF, you might try it with sending 300, which is horizon sensors off. Perhaps that will allow you to remain at a off cardinal heading.
This is 10, you're unreadable. Say again, over.
Roger. In the event command 340 does not allow you to stabilize at off cardinal headings, try 300, which is horizon sensors off. This may allow you to do so.
Attention, LOS.
This is Gemini Control Houston. 27 hours, 5 minutes into the flight. Questions have been asked regarding the exact times of the EVA maneuver, and we have some numbers on that now. According to telemetry records, the cabin was depressurized at an elapsed time of 23 hours, 24 minutes. The hatch itself was opened, this we had by oral communication, at 23 hours, 27 minutes. The next number on hatch closure is only an estimate. We do not have this from the crew. We are simply estimating. The hatch closure was 24 hours, 12 minutes. We do know from telemetry records that the cabin was repressurized at 24 hours, 15 minutes. Ground elapsed time. The numbers again: depress 23 hours, 24 minutes, hatch open 23 hours, 27 minutes. We know the repressurization was complete at 24 hours, 15 minutes. And we estimate the hatch probably closed about 3 minutes ahead of the repressurization. The maneuver had been planned to run on till another 25 minutes beyond this repress point. We do have some additional conversation via Tananarive, a little more than a minute's worth. We're still in Tananarive contact. We'll play that for you now.
Gemini 10, Houston. Gemini 10, Houston.
Banana read, go remote.
Banana read, remote.
Gemini 10, Houston.
Yes, well.
Roger, did turning gyro compassing off or horizon sensors off help the problem any? Say again?
It's working okay.
Oh, very good, very good. Gemini 10, Houston, did turning the gyro compassing off eliminate the problem, or was it the horizon sensors off that did it?
Gyro compassing off.
Gemini 10, Houston.
Gemini 10, go.
Roger, understand you have the horizon sensors off at this time?
We don't have the right sensors off.
Roger.
This is Gemini Control Houston, 27 hours, 29 minutes into the flight. The Coastal Center Quebec is just tagged up with Gemini 10, and the crew reported their problem, the eye problem, was getting better. It's a fairly short message, but a reassuring one, and here's the tape.
Houston Flight, CSQ Capcom, ACS gas pressure 763 pounds at 31 degrees.
Roger.
Gemini 10, CSQ. Go. Roger, could you turn the encoder on for just a second so we can check the VM? Roger. Okay, looks good. You can turn it back on. Eye problem seems to get better. Say again? Eye problem is getting better. Roger, we copy.
Did he say getting better or getting worse?
I copy better, flight. Flight says good. We can go 10. Yeah, we never have got this thing quite right. Say again? Fucking time hack. Roger. I'll give you a time head at 27 hours, 29 minutes.
CSQ Flight.
Go, flight.
We need an Agena LOS main.
Roger, LOS main, which bird?
Agena.
Roger. Flight CSQ, he just about got it yawed around now. He likes a little bit yet.
Roger.
10 CSQ, we have about 45 seconds to LOS. We're standing by. 10, Roger.
CSQ from Flight.
Go, flight.
I want you to tell them to not use any more Agena control fuel until we get a chance to look at this a little more.
ACS?
ACS.
Roger.
And you should go to FC1.
Roger. 10 CSQ, we'd like for you to go to FC1 and not use any more gas until we look at this a little bit further. Roger. We'll go to FC1. Roger. The gas is down to less than 20%. We don't think we better do D5 using this shot technique anymore either.
We agree.
Roger.
We agree, Capcom.
Say again?
We concur to knock them off.
Okay, we concur with that, 10. We have LOS flight.
Roger.
This is Gemini Control Houston. That concludes the CSQ pass. The next maneuver is programmed for an elapsed time of 27 hours, 45 minutes, about 11 minutes from now. This will be a phase adjustment. It should occur in the middle of the Hawaii Pass upcoming. Hawaii is to acquire at 2741. The burn will be a 7.7 foot per second burn. And the spacecraft attitudes will be 0, blunt end forward. In other words, 0, 180, and 0 in pitch. This is Gemini Control Houston. This is Gemini Control Houston, 27 hours, 44 minutes into the flight. And we're 1 minute away from our adjustment burn, phase adjustment burn over Hawaii. The burn again is a 7.7 foot per second burn using the secondary propulsion system on the Agena. We've noted during the CSQ pass and again over Hawaii that approximately 36 pounds of fuel remain in the secondary propulsion system, and this will force a curtailment of any additional star occultation experiment activity during the next nightside pass. Additional D5 work had been planned. It has now been scrubbed because of the shortage of control gas in the secondary system in the Agena. Standing by for the burn. And we have an SPS initiate. The burn should be completed. Hawaii has verified. The ground said the burn looked good to them. John Young reports that they have readouts on board that show they made as much as 10 feet per second. And instead of the required 7.7, but that data will be looked at. We'll start this tape now at the beginning of the Hawaii Pass and play the complete pass. We are still in contact with Hawaii, the spacecraft directly north of the islands. Here's the conversation.
Hawaii has C-band track. Intermittent TM at Hawaii. Roger. Okay, flight dog 058. ACS supply pressure. Decimal 6, 9 or 8. ACS supply temperature. 39er decimal 0. That's dog 070.
Pressure decimal 698.
That's KPSI, Roger.
Roger.
And the temperature is 39er decimal 0.
Roger.
Gemini 10, Hawaii, Capcom.
Gemini 10, go.
Okay, we'll get you set up for this SPS burn. We'd like you to go to FC7.
Roger.
You need the command numbers?
Negative.
Okay. TM solid Hawaii, both vehicles are go.
Roger.
Why, this is Gemini 10. I don't know if the SQ told you, but we just noticed a big drop in gas pressure out of that D5.
Roger, we've got all that. They want to stop doing any more D5s, and we'll keep a close look on your ACS. You're all squared away with your flight control mode 7.
Roger, I think it's squared away.
Okay, I'll give you a time hack 1 minute prior to GETB.
Roger.
And you're looking real good down here. Flight away.
Go ahead.
We've got a torque rate on yaw about 3 degrees, but the position gyro is about a half a degree.
Roger.
You should be okay.
Roger.
Okay, minus 1 minute time hack in about 9 seconds. We're showing you go for the burn. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And we'll be standing by. SPS initiate flight.
Roger.
We have cut off.
Roger.
Okay, 10 away.
10, go.
Real good here. How'd you do?
We indicate we made 10 feet per second instead of 7.
Roger. We'll check out the burn time here on the ground, and we'll look it up for you. Want to go back to flight control mode 1 flight?
Affirm.
Okay, will you turn TM off, and then back on again, and then go back to flight control mode 1?
Roger.
Flight away.
Go.
It appeared to me as though the burn was just a little bit long. Delta T.
Roger.
Roger. This is 1080 was 0002.3. 81 was 0005. And negative. And minus 0005, and 82 was minus 0007.
Okay, 80.2.3, 81, 0005, and 82 was minus 000, was that 7?
Roger, 0007.
Okay, I got that.
And 81 should be negative also.
Negative, okay. And you're going to flight control mode 1 now, right?
Roger, that's where we're going.
Roger.
Fly from flight.
Flight away.
Interrogate the VM.
Roger. And will you turn your encoder off? I'd like to interrogate your velocity meter. Okay, thank you. Okay, put your encoder back on.
Roger.
Flight away.
Go.
Flight away.
Go.
Got your tail off.
Go.
Leave. The LSB is 0, all the rest is 1s. And it looks like the burn lasted for 10 seconds.
You say the LSB is 0 and all the rest are 1s?
That's affirmative. And the burn time was approximately 10 seconds.
Roger, 10 seconds.
Like we've made most of the tape dump, we didn't get it all.
Roger.
Wymus will be going through California. Wymus AFD.
AFD, Wymus, I copy.
Roger.
All systems LOS at away.
This is Gemini Control Houston. California should acquire momentarily. And there goes the first call out from Houston Capcom here. Several people have remarked here on the extraordinary versatility of the Agena, which has proved itself beyond the fondest hope during this period of nearly 24 hours now, where it's been the primary maneuvering system, both in the very discrete small type burns as we just saw over Hawaii, and of course in the large primary propulsion system burn that we saw last night and earlier today. Truly remarkably stable in all of its rates, and the performance has been precisely as advertised. We have now the start of the stateside pass, just barely into it. Here's the conversation.
Hawaii, Capcom AFD.
AFD, Hawaii.
Roger, Ed. In your post pass, would you put the exact time of the Unit 2 analog recorder for the burn?
Gemini 10, Houston.
Gemini 10.
Roger, we've been looking at your gas consumption down here on D5, and we've decided to discontinue further D5, over.
Yeah, we concur. Also, our outbound seems to be getting better, and we don't think lithium hydroxide or whatever it is would get to us on either the ELSS or the O2 high rate.
Understand. Another question. What do you read is in your SDP for attitude gas now?
I can't give it to you right now, Al. The sun is shining in such a manner that I can't read the panel. I stand by and I'll give it to you when I can.
Roger, we confirmed your information about the burn slightly greater than 7.7. as we come up on Guaymas, they'll call for a fuel cell purge, and then following that there'll be spacecraft powered down, and be some block updates, CSQ, and you got kind of a rest period here.
Very good.
Roger, we're still wondering about this ECS configuration you're in right now. Is it faceplates open, number 1 suit fan on, and recirc valve at 45?
All 3 things are correct.
Roger, and then please keep us advised in the event you decide to change anything.
Okay, we'll tell you, Al.
Roger.
Guaymas, go remote. California, go local.
Wyman, remote. California local.
Guaymas from flight.
Go ahead.
You ready for a fuel cell purge?
That's affirmative, flight.
Okay, let them know that you're ready.
Roger. Gemini 10, Guaymas, Capcom. Guaymas, go. Okay, Gemini, we're standing by for the fuel cell purge this time. Roger.
Guaymas, so you seen the fuel cell purge?
That's affirmative, flight.
Okay, going all right?
Looks good.
Guaymas, let them know that we have a retro block update over the RKV this pass and a flight plan update over the CSQ.
RKV PLA update.
And a flight plan and crew status over the CSQ.
Gemini 10, Guaymas, Capcom. 10, go ahead. Okay, over the RKV on this frame rail, you'll have a PLA update. And then following on to the CSQ, you'll have a flight plan update and a crew status report. 10, roger. You're looking real good. Yeah, we feel real good too. Sorry about having to stop that this afternoon, but I'm feeling well.
Yeah, we agree.
Guaymas, don't forget to send your Agena and Gemini summaries.
Roger. Are you on anything in particular, AFD?
Just follow the normal things we've been doing.
Roger.
Guaymas, procedures, don't forget your Agena summaries.
Okay, we've sent those out, procedures. We'll send them again.
They haven't gotten the building.
Okay. Guaymas says LOS.
Roger, Guaymas. Guaymas from flight.
Go flight.
What was your ACS gas pressure and temperature?
633 PSI was the manifold pressure. Stand by for the temperature. 46.8 degrees, flight.
Say again?
46.8 degrees.
46.8.
Roger.
633.
Roger. Procedures, Guaymas, you got those summaries yet?
Say again?
I was wondering if procedures got those summaries.
I don't know. Yes, he's getting them now.
Okay.
Computer TMG and so.
Go ahead.
We're got a little problems down here with our machines, and we're going to have to do a catastrophic restart in our DSC, and then bring it online and take the MOC down. And the only way I can get the history back in here for you is to play in these old paper tapes out of the GCC and into both machines until we get the DSC back updated. Sounds like a good idea. Okay, I just wanted to clear if I could go ahead and play it into the MOC too. As far
This is Gemini Control, Houston, 28 hours, 4 minutes into the flight, and that wraps up the conversation with the spacecraft as it swings down over the Isthmus of Panama and starts across South America. We're on the 17th revolution. We will begin the 18th revolution in a very few seconds as we cross the 80th parallel. We've been asked to provide a list of all the maneuvers, the times, the feet per second, the vehicle that performed these maneuvers, and the purpose. And this is a note to the transcriptionist who sets up this information, we suggest it be set up in a table form with 4 headings. The first column would be spacecraft GET, our ground elapsed time. Second column, delta V. Third column, vehicle. Fourth column, purpose. Back to the under the first column heading of spacecraft ground elapsed time. Time 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 09 seconds. Delta V 55.9. Vehicle, spacecraft. Purpose, phasing. Time 2 hours, 30 minutes, 49 seconds. Delta V 9.6. Vehicle, spacecraft. Purpose, plane change. Time 3 hours, 47 minutes, 34 seconds. Delta V 48.4. Vehicle, spacecraft. Purpose, circularization. Time approximately 4 hours, 34 minutes. Delta V approximately 35. Vehicle, spacecraft. Purpose, terminal phase initiation. Time approximately 5 hours, 06 minutes, 00 seconds. Delta V approximately 50. Vehicle, spacecraft. Purpose, terminal phase final. The times and the delta V's I gave on the last two are approximated because it was during that period when the Gemini 10 spacecraft burned an excessive amount of fuel in performing their rendezvous maneuver. And we have no better information on precisely how much fuel went exactly where. Next item, spacecraft time, 7 hours, 38 minutes, 34 seconds. Delta V, 420. Vehicle, Agena. Purpose, phasing. This would have been the first burn with the primary propulsion system. Second, the next time is 20 hours, 20 minutes, and 12 seconds. Delta V 334.6. The vehicle, the Agena. The purpose, height adjust. The next item, 22 hours, 37 minutes, and 07 seconds. Delta V 74.3. Vehicle, Agena. Purpose, circularization. Next item, 27 hours, 45 minutes, 36 seconds. Delta V 7.7. Agena is the vehicle. Purpose, phase adjust. At the present time, we still read approximately 375 pounds of propellant remaining on the spacecraft. This is Gemini Control Houston. This is Gemini Control Houston, 28 hours, 29 minutes into the flight. Flight going very calmly and very quietly. The eye situation seems to continue to improve. We have a recorded conversation via the Rosenaught Victor. The tape is ready. We'll play it for you now.
RKV, send us Agena main at acquisition and LOS, please.
Roger.
Roger, RKV.
delay update for you when you're ready to copy.
Stand by one.
Roger. All the times on this update are based on a set maneuver of an ohms burn of 100 feet per second, 20 minutes prior to retrofire. The retro pitch angle of 20 degrees, and recommend that you use catch-up mode for the ohms burn. Area 21-3. 3252. 20 plus 39er. 26 plus 18. Weather is good. Area 22-3. 351339er. 20 plus 34. 26 plus 33. Weather marginal. Area 23 Delta. 361038. 20 plus 23. 25 plus 04. Weather marginal. Area 24-2. 374815. 20 plus 22. 25 plus 13. Weather good. Area 25-2. 39er. 2505. 20 plus 20. 25 plus 28. Weather good. Area 26-2. 410325. 20 plus 30. 25 plus 50. Weather good. Bank angle for all areas 90. Step maneuver required on all areas. You copy. Roger, we received your information. Thank you. We have nothing further on this pass. I guess this would be our last wake pass with you, so we'll wish you all a good night. Thank you. Happy dreams. Well, we'll be watching you while you're asleep.
RKVAC. Another Gemini main, please.
This is Gemini Control Houston, 28 hours, 49 minutes into the flight. The CSQ will acquire at 28 hours, 59 minutes, 10 minutes from now, and we should have a flight plan report, a flight plan comparison relayed to them. The flight director here, Glenn Lunny, is going over that information with the CSQ. Following that, we expect a crew status report over Hawaii and any additional flight plan updates that may not have been covered at CSQ. The crew is in an eating period at the present time, and the present plans are to knock off activities for the day at an elapsed time of 29 hours and 45 minutes to begin about a 9-hour sleep period. This is the present plan. This is Gemini Control, Houston. This is Gemini Control, Houston, 29 hours, 12 minutes into the flight. We've just completed a very informative pass over the coastal central Quebec. The crew and the flight controller on the CSQ covered the major events of the day. It's an excellent summary. Among other things, we learned that the crew did not recover the S-12 micrometeorite package located on the adapter of the spacecraft. No problem there. This will be recovered during the EVA exercise tomorrow. We also learned that certain items, as per plan, were jettisoned, about 3 pounds worth in all, including certain brackets, camera mountings, and that sort of thing. Young reported he presently reads about 30% fuel remaining on board. Here is the tape from the CSQ pass.
Agena, acquisition. Acquisition, Gemini. Gemini 10 CSQ. CSQ. Roger, we got a little information for you. Okay, the flight plan for tomorrow will be just about like it's laid out on your plot you have on board. And the exact times for the maneuvers will be updated to you in the morning. They're still tracking the Agena, and they plan to have all the right information. So about an hour to 2 hours after you get up in the morning, somewhere along in there, they plan to run an ECS test prior to you going to EVA to make sure that everything's like it should be.
CSQ flight.
Go flight.
Okay, I want to be sure he understands that it's in connection with the problem we had today. We just want to do a verification of it.
Say again?
I want to be sure he understands that that's in connection with the problem we had today.
Tell him that it is.
Yeah, tell him that we want to do an ECS test to verify where we stand with respect to the kind of irritation problem we had today.
Roger, understand. 10 CSQ, this ECS test for tomorrow is to find out where they stand in respect to the problem you had with the irritation today. Roger. And also we'd like a little information on the weight so we can keep up with our ground computations. I'd like to know if you retrieved the S-12. Negative S-12 retrieval. What about the cover on the command pilot's window? Negative. Didn't have time to do any of it. Okay, have you got any estimate on the number of pounds that might have been jettisoned during the EVA? Yeah, let's see. There was one waste bag, the S-13 bracket, the MSC plate, and the MSC telescoping rod. Altogether, I guess about 3 pounds. Roger. Okay, we'd like an onboard propellant quantity readout, please. 30%. Roger. Have you got anything you'd like to give us in the way of a flight plan report? Well, I think we did everything we could today. Roger, we understand. And what kind of food and water report do you have for us? Our water encounter is 564, and we're eating the third meal of the day right now. Roger.
CSQ flight.
Go flight.
On S-12, if he has not locked the door, don't open it for the night.
Do not open the collector door.
Stand by.
That was a good idea. idea about D5. If we'd had a little more attitude control gas in the Agena, I think we could have ripped through another sequence without any trouble in the thing. The photometer and whatnot up here was working properly. Roger, it was sure using up the gas. Yeah, I know. On the EVA, I think I mentioned most of the things as I went along, except coming back in. The hatch and all the related equipment involved in getting back in all works very well. The forces are very low and everything works very smoothly. Very good.
CSQ flight.
Go flight.
We're ready to lock the door on the S-12.
You're ready?
Affirm, and they won't need it open. They said they've got enough data and they're ready to lock it.
Say again?
Experimenter says he's got enough data and he's ready to lock the door.
Okay, we'll tell him to lock the door. 10 CSQ. Go ahead. Okay, you can lock the door on the S-12 now. Right here, S-12 door is locked. And I'm fixing to transmit you a TX. Roger, the TX. We locked that S-12 door when we got up this morning.
CSQ flight.
Go flight.
The only other thing we have for him, Gary, is we have a timer to reset over Hawaii in the Agena that we'll need the encoder off for, and that's all we will have for the rest of the night.
Roger, we're showing the tank pressure down to 720. We're going to have it boosted up to about 700 on board.
Go ahead.
10 CSQ. 10, go ahead. Okay, we're showing your O2 tank pressure to be down a little bit. Why don't you boost it up to about 700 on board? Welcome. And we're going to have a timer reset over Hawaii on this pass. So we'll need your encoder off during Hawaii's pass. Alrighty. 10 CSQ, we have 1 minute to LOS and standing by. Roger. How's your weather down there? Real nice today. Seas are calm. Say again? Said the seas are real calm today. Oh, that's nice.
Is Gemini Control, Houston, 29 hours, 29 minutes into the flight of Gemini 10. Over Hawaii, we had a brief conversation between Ed Fendel and the crew. We thought we could detect the crew polishing off their evening meal. This probably will be the last conversation with the crew tonight. The flight plan shows them turning in for the evening at 29:40 lapse time, beginning a 9-hour sleep period. Here's the conversation from Hawaii.
C-band track at Hawaii.
Roger, Hawaii.
Agena TM solid. Flight away.
Roger.
Flight away.
Go ahead.
We show SPCs enabled. We're going to send SPCs disabled.
Roger, go ahead.
10 away. 10, go ahead. How you all doing? Just fine. Getting all squared away to go to bed? Right, we got the encoder off for your pleasure. Okay, we're going to send a couple commands, and then I'm going to send you a TX right now. And we'll get you squared away here. Okay, got your TX. Okay, I got a couple questions for Mike. Speak. Did he happen to notice whether the boom for MSC-3 was extended when he was standing up outside? Negative, I did not notice. Did you happen to notice whether the MSC-6 door was open? Negative, I didn't notice that either. I had just a couple of minutes of sunlight before I came back in, and I was looking at the MSC-6, the MSC-8 equipment exclusively. Oh, okay. Okay, we're all done commanding. You can turn your encoder back on. Okay, they've got a real good hack on the Gemini 8 orbit, and they shouldn't have any trouble getting you up there tomorrow. That sounds good.
When are they going to drop us off? Well, I'm going to see about all that tomorrow. What time? Okay. Tomorrow's day should be pretty close to your nominal flight plan. Yeah, that's what we heard. Okay, flight, he looks pretty well squared away. He's powered down and looks like they're ready to go to bed.
Hawaii from flight.
Flight away.
We need an Agena LOS main and look at what you're reading on your ACS.
Okay.
Temp. And the pump configuration for econ.
I can't read your last part.
And the pump configuration.
Pump configuration is B pumps at both loops.
Roger.
Okay, flight on the ACS gas pressure at 682 kpsia.
682, Roger. Temperature?
69.4.
Roger. Warming up.
Looks like it's got about 35 pounds. 10 away. Stand go ahead. Okay, we'll be shutting you down now. You're looking real good. All your systems are squared away, and we'll be running quiet here for the rest of the evening. Roger, thank you very much.
Hawaii from flight.
Flight away.
To keep the currents where we want them, suggest he puts the TM switch in the real-time and ACK and just leave it there for the evening.
Okay. 10 Hawaii, you need not acknowledge. Would you put your TM control switch to the real-time and ACK position and leave it there while you sleep? Flight away.
Go ahead, Hawaii.
Make that 32 pounds of ACS gas remaining.
Roger.
Have all systems LOS at Hawaii.
This is Gemini Control. 30 hours, 29 minutes, and 37 seconds after liftoff. Gemini 10 is midway through the 19th revolution, approximately over the Indian Ocean. During the pass at the beginning of this revolution over the tracking ship Rose Knot, Flight Director Glenn Lunny, at the suggestion of the spacecraft systems engineer John Aaron, requested that the spacecraft communicator on the Rose Knot wake up the crew. Sorry about that, he said. To turn on a primary A pump in the coolant system. It seems that the temperatures were a little below the normal scale in the coolant regulators, and then they were told to go back to sleep. Other than that, the spacecraft and the Agena were go on the ground at the Rose Knot. The orbital elements of Gemini 10 now stand at 210 nautical miles apogee by 208 nautical miles perigee. At 30 hours, 30 minutes, and 45 seconds after liftoff, this is Gemini Control.